Hi everybody, this is a blue, black, and red Arcane Bombardment deck built around the theme of stealing things from our opponent. We splashed in some blue here for Siphon Insight and Maestros Charm. Siphon just lets us take a few things off the top of our opponent's library, and we can pay any color mana to cast them. Then we've got 3 copies of Maestros Charm. I haven't used this one in a while, and I love getting to store it under a bombardment for repeated casting. Of course, from Wilds of Eldraine, we've got 4 copies of Decadent Dragon. Its spell Expensive Taste lets us do something similar to Siphon Insight, but we can't pay for the stolen card's mana costs with any color. That's why I've kind of separated out these 2 items over here. We've got 1 copy of the Celestus, makes a mana of any color and is a nice support control card. And I've got 1 copy of Prophetic Prism. It replaces itself, it can filter mana in a pinch, and I found that it was better at casting stuff on time than using a filter land like Crystal Grotto, for example. So yeah, let's see a few games with this deck over on the ranked standard ladder and see if we can steal anything good from our opponents. Alright, let's see what we got here. No black sources, unfortunately. Got a mulligan this one. Alright, this is passable. We can take this. Let's get rid of Shivan Reef. We got the rare 1 of each basic in our opening hand, so just in case our opponent's on mono red, which they are not, won't be punished too hard. Play out the mountain here so we can go for the throat or lightning strike. Opponent just passing here. Oh, false alarm. We got an Iron Crag. What's the over-under on Sheoldred coming in here? So, Decadent Dragon, Expensive Taste. We can instant that. A very suspicious pass from the opponent. Let's go for it anyway. Try to go for the Expensive Taste here. Not much else going on. We peel a Fading Hope and a Path of Peril. Well, I was kind of guessing that our opponent was on fairies for a second there, but this Path of Peril, I think we're up against a Dimir control opponent. Fairy Mastermind. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Could still be on the control axis, just depending on the Mastermind for some card advantage and some flashy damage. Jace. All right. What are we doing, opponent? Milling 3 times X, but they still keep Jace around. Okay. Well, let's put out old Decadent Dragon here. Opponent hitting their land drops, unfortunately. Decides to hit the dragon with the -3/-0 ability. Oh, and then that fits nicely under cut down. Well, I got news for you, opponent. I'm going to just put that Fading Hope to use. And luckily, our opponent is on our colors, so we don't really need to worry about colored mana when casting. Let's try to squeeze a bombardment in here. Okay. Thought they had the counter for a second. They're just going Takenuma. Grab a Fairy Mastermind back from out of the grave. And hopefully our enchantment is safe on the board. Opponent builds up Jace slightly. And nothing. Could have some more instant speed stuff for us. Well, we've got a couple of spells in hand. Let's start with a Lightning Strike on Jace, just because I kind of want to get rid of that. We can use our Dragon to activate Bombardment on our opponent's turn. Get rid of this Celestus to this big score. Excellent pickup for Bombardment here. Okay, Jace is down. Opponent doesn't appear to have any counter spells in hand at the moment, which is great for us. Flashes out the Mastermind. Alright, they decide to draw here. Gives us a Lightning Strike. And back to them. I guess in hindsight, we should have spotted our opponent as a control player, because I've noticed they always use the Damnation sleeves. Alright, opponent finally's got the Sheoldred. They decide not to flip over the Iron Crag, which is interesting. They seem to have a lot of lands already. Let's try to go for the Throat Sheoldred. Activate Bombardment here. Okay, pick up Lightning Strike. Let's point that at the Mastermind. Let's big score away one of these charms. We can always pick it back up with Bombardment later on. In response, opponent going to make everybody draw a card. Triggers Sheoldred a bit. Yeah, we can afford these triggers from Sheoldred. Hits us for another 4, but we get to draw a whole bunch of cards. And not too much other pressure from the control deck, so I feel pretty safe doing that. Well, we need some more stuff to do here. Decadent Dragon only finds us a Celestus and an island from the opponent. So let's go land. And let's play out our dragon. 6 mana left. Let's go ahead and do Lightning Strike on our opponent. We do pick up the charm, that's good. We'll burn them and do another 3 with this other Lightning Strike. Big score away our Sulfurous Springs. And we got some more instants. That's great to see. So we know our opponent's playing with Planeswalkers. We've got Edict in hand. Hopefully to address that. Big score if we run out of things to do. Okay. They're breaching. Could have a mill win condition over there. So they've milled us into a Siphon Insight. They've stolen one of our dragons, and they got back a Jace for themselves. So luckily our deck, not too much available to give to them. They decide to mill us for a whole bunch more. It's another Siphon Insight, but we've still got cards left in the library. Even after all that. Alright, well, I think we need to increase the speed of this burn plan that's taken shape here. Let's go Maestros Charm. Pick up a Siphon Insight. Yeah, I'll take a look with that. We will Charm on damage. Lightning Strike as well. No need to big score. Don't want to run ourselves out of cards too early. Sheoldred. That's going to be good for some more damage. Alright, so we've got our opponent down to 6. Let's draw another Bombardment. Well, we've got a good stack of stuff under here. I'm not sure that we need that. We've got... Oh yeah, I think we've got it. So barring any counter spells, I think we've got room to go for style here. Let's pay for Sheoldred. We will flashback Siphon Insight out of the grave. Should they survive this, we've got an instant for their next turn, and that wraps it up. Too much burn. Good game. Okay. Can't keep this. Trying not to keep as many 2-landers. We'll put back a big score. Prophetic Prism. Used to play this one. Can't remember exactly what set it was from originally. It's reared its head in a few different sets as reprints, but I always kind of like it. If you need an artifact, it's great because it replaces itself. Fixes some colors if you're playing some weird color combinations. Alright, so opponent with that creature looks like they are on some red and blue Spellslinger type stuff, but probably with token creatures. Electrostatic Infantry, the Sparky Wizard. We draw Edict. Alright, let's go tap land, and let's play out Lightning Strike right now, and let's go for the Bird Wizard. I'm thinking we can use this Edict on Sparky. Oh, they're going to go all in on it. So the infantry now a 3/3. Spell Spear coming down. Edict a little less useful. Lightning Strike a great draw. Let's pass here. We can always try to use these things in response to their spells, especially if they tap out a blue. Or if they're not doing that much damage, we can big score. Oh, they flip over the Spell Spear. Yeah, let's just take that. So here, we're gonna big score. Let's pitch. We'll pitch Lightning Strike. Yes. All right, we pick up a charm and a land. That's great. Play out this Haunted Ridge. We're gonna go Chandra here. Great to be able to ramp into a 6-mana play. Let's add some mana. Black. We're going to double up on Sheoldred's Edict. Gets around the ward cost and cleanly eliminates both of these creatures. And allows us to keep a high loyalty Chandra in play, since I don't know if these colors can really get rid of that. Alright, another copy of Balmor from the opponent. Great. Stormcarved Coast, the draw here. Let's take a look at the top with Chandra and see if she can find us any spells to cast. Maestros Charm. Alright, well, we're going to cast the Maestros Charm that Chandra found. Double it up just in case they've got any kind of crazy toughness enhancing spells in hand, but looks like it just has to get let go. And we're getting to the point where, so Chandra was able to come down and clear the board at the same time, whereas Bombardment can't really do that. But we're getting to the point where we can hit our Bombardment and go digging for spells with Chandra to keep things rolling along. Let's add some mana here. Red, red. Now we can play out Bombardment. And we should be able to copy this spell. Chandra gives us a free Lightning Strike, and we can see what Bombardment picks up for us out of the grave. We're a mana shy of guaranteed being able to cast this Maestro's Charm next turn. But hard to argue that we're not in a good spot. Alright, Balmor is down. We pick up Edict, which has no targets. And unfortunately, just got to give it back to the opponent. 1 mana off of this Maestro's Charm. Alright, another Spell Spear. Pretty fearsome, but doesn't have haste, so it's going to give us a chance to get rid of it. I've seen that thing grow out of hand pretty fast. Alright, taking a look around here. Let's have Chandra go find us some spells. Ooh, lots of options. Okay. Let's do Maestro's Charm then. Nope, an opponent sees a lot of spells coming. Good game. Okay. Man, I don't play that many basic lands in this deck, and this is at least the second hand I've gotten where we get all 3 of them in the opening hand. Alright, well, luckily... Oh, opponent with a Dreams of Steel and Oil plucks our dragon right out of our hand. Was kind of depending on that to come up with a turn 4 play for us. Luckily, our opponent not on mono red, which probably would have run wild on this hand. As we're not doing anything before turn 3, at least we got to play first. Opponent with a Mirex and a Liliana. Is this like a discard-themed deck?
Those who get in my way tend to
It appears it may be.
You won't be outsmarting me.
As we wait our opponent to make their selection, I'm going to discard a land here. So, I don't know. Let's get rid of Liliana. We can't have her ultimating. But as for the rest, if this is discard, that's not really a huge problem. I don't know. It just doesn't have the legs in Standard that it once did in other formats or, you know, other standards of the past. Once you've expent your discard spells, kind of struggle for a win condition sometime. We're going to play out some Devils here just to put some pressure on our opponent. Especially since that Phyrexian Arena means they're going to be in the action for a long time. Alright, we've inadvertently given them a target for that cut down. And maybe our devils in combination with this arena can take them out. Alright, well, Graveyard Trespasser we don't want to see either. Takes our burn down the house out of our grave. Let's go ahead and do Sheoldred's Edict then. Get around the ward cost at least to protect our hand a little bit. And keep the pressure on with the devils for now. Oh, they're playing some white. I wonder what for. Alright, let's do one to our opponent. An Adventured Virtue of Persistence. Coming out here. Followed by a Fell Stinger. Does decide to exploit itself. 2 more damage to the opponent, bringing them down to 12. Alright, well, let's keep attacking here. We could get our opponent down low enough where they're in a situation where they need to desperately do things to gain life instead of deal with our board. Let's keep drawing. They know about the bombardment, and that's kind of going to be our ticket out of this. They're getting such great card advantage out of that Phyrexian Arena that if we can start catching up somehow with bombardment, it's going to keep us in this. Urborg Scavengers, huh? Really do not want us to have a graveyard. Flesh Gorger on prototype mode. Chandra the draw as well. Think this is worth it. Let's go Chandra first. Chandra, we're going to have you do 3 damage to up to 2 targets. We're going to pay the life for the ward cost on the Flesh Gorger. So Chandra's got the board clear. Devils can keep attacking. And then if she survives, Chandra can lend us some mana. Maybe we can double up with Bombardment and a spell next turn. Alright, Virtue of Persistence comes down. That's going to let them get the Gorger back. So what I think we do here is Bombardment. We're going to ask Chandra for a small loan, really. Let's go Expensive Taste and see if they can give us something a little better than Brotherhood's End here. Chandra going to double that up, of course. Edict is the pickup off of Bombardment, which is not that great right now, and we're left with a cut down. Bringing them to 7. Arena's going to fire off, and Persistence is going to happen. Let's see what they grab with the Persistence. So we do have this cut down. We could actually shoot down our own Devil for a Bombardment activation here. The next couple of turns are going to be crucial. Duress, that's fine. Brotherhood's End, not that great anymore. See what our opponent has left for us. Another land, could start making Mirex tokens as well. Ooh, Sheoldred's Edict on our Planeswalker. I think we're just going to let that go for the moment. Because copying this cut down doesn't help us all that much. And now they've given us a good target that's not our own devil. Okay, Sheoldred's Edict was under there, so we can use that, make them sacrifice a non-token creature since we're already targeting the Mirex token with cut down. Just opens them up to a bit more damage. Can we haste this into play? We can. All right. This takes him to 2. Let's end it there. We're going to draw off the underdog. They're going to get it back. We are high enough where that doesn't matter, and they're low enough where they can't cast the underdog. They could try to Virtue it back. They get the Trespasser. Trespasser eats Edict. Arena brings them to 1. So they can't. They have to exile this devil Duress sees only lands. Takenuma here. Looks like they have nothing. Nope, correction. Got back the scavengers, but I don't think they gain life. And either way, these devils are coming over. So, what do we got, opponent? Yeah, blocks can happen, but the devil is throwing some damage at the face. All right, we got there. Good game. All right. This is a weird one, but we're going to keep it. Start off with the Xander's Lounge. A couple of Siphon Insights to kind of act like a fake card draw spell. And we've got Lightning Strike here. See what our opponent has for us today. Simic, you may play an additional land this turn, Worm. Alright, could be looking to do some ramp. In those colors, that usually means Titan of Industry. They've got the Bramble Familiar. Alright, let's siphon them and see what they've got going on. Up the Beanstalk is okay. I'm not sure it's great for us, but it's better than the alternative. Let's just pass. We're at the sort of big score stage of the game. Another Bramble Familiar, so still working on the ramp, but no lands this turn. Let's go... we'll let them hit us. Big score away this Restless Spire. Try to keep our untapped lands here as we get a little ramp. Try to find Bombardment. There it is. All right, let's play that. Conserve the treasure here. All right, so even with a land this turn, they're only at 6 mana. And I know that deck usually needs, I think, around 7 to start doing crazy things. So they play the Beanstalk Worm, hit us with the Familiar, and we pick up big score. Well, let's at least get rid of that Worm. Target that with the Go for the Throat. Well, big score, discarding big score. We find Brotherhood's End. That might just be worth doing anyway. Take out those 2 remaining creatures. And yeah, we've got instants to play on their turn, so let's see what else we can get under here. Ooh, opponent with a Teferi. Well, that is a good thing to ramp into. Sometimes those tokens enough to take care of mono red decks, if you can get them to survive. They go for the card draw, though. All right, let's Siphon Insight, but do the one from our hand instead. All right, we get big score. I was just thinking maybe we could pick up this one in the graveyard under Bombardment, but... oof. Dreamroot Cascade. Only lands from our opponent. All right, I think we got this here. Let's go big score. Discard Mountain. Activates Bombardment. Gives us some treasure. Brotherhood's End. Sure, doesn't really do anything. We'll just fire it off anyway. Get rid of Teferi. No creatures to worry about. Just trying to manage the loyalty on that Teferi. Tons of treasures left over. And yeah, let's pass it on over. We got spells for days. Trying to dodge a Titan here. Opponent doing some more drawing. Let's go ahead and do Decadent Dragon. Activate Bombardment with that. We finally pick up the Siphon Insight. We can do Brotherhood's End again. Discard to big score. And then see what we can pull off our... oh, I'm looking for your fun stuff here, and I'm just taking all of your lands. Funny, we've got all the mana in this game. All right, opponent finally resolves the card draw spell. Land number 6. There's an Up the Beanstalk. So clearly wanting to play 5 mana things and above, hence Teferi. Yeah, and too much advantage here. Good game. All right, not a bad hand. Let's get it started here. We've got Siphon Insight for the card draw. We've got Celestus and Big Score for the ramp and some more draw. And that could take us directly into burn down the house, should we need kind of an escape hatch from whatever our opponent's doing over here. Ambitious farmhand, all right. Let's go ahead and siphon our opponent. Ooh, Sunstreak Phoenix. Don't know if we'll be able to cast that, but it's mine now. Let's get our Celestus down here. Not too much threatening from our opponent's side just yet. Although that Phoenix include is interesting. I wonder what else is going on over there. All right, let's discard basic land. We get a Spire. Yeah, let's play the Spire tapped. That leaves us enough mana to play Big Score. Then try to draw into one of our top-end 6 mana things. Opponent with a Union of the Third Path. Goes up to 27. So these cards make me think Control, but the Phoenix and the Sokenzan. Can't quite figure this one out. All right, let's go ahead and Big Score. We took 3 there, but unless they can start pumping that board up, it's not too threatening. So we do have a few more turns here. Okay, still no bombardment. We can Big Score again. Let's see what they do here. Nope, just a straight attack for 3. Dropping to 14. Yes, I understand. Maintenance has to happen. We're in a game here, Arena. All right, we found the bombardment. Had to discard the lightning strike to do it. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. It should leave us enough to do a couple of things. So we've got 4 mana left over. We can do 1 instant now and 1 instant on our opponent's turn. Let's do Go for the Throat here, because Lightning Strike is more flexible as far as potential targets. Ooh! Soul Partition on the bombardment. That's just mean. Well, we do still get to cast Burn Down the House, which was the pickup from bombardment. However, Burn Down the House now lost to the ages as we just have an expensive bombardment floating around in exile until we can get the mana to cast it. So let's keep developing those lands. All right, well, we'll pitch that land. So I'm keeping Brotherhood's End here in case they've got more tokens and they want to start going wide. I will try to get a 2-for-1 here with this Devil. Opponent taking a look at our graveyard, so we can use this Devil to eliminate the final Sokenzan token. So do we have a board wipe, or are we producing more creatures? There's the board wipe. That makes the attack make sense. The last hurrah for the Sokenzan tokens. And we'll hit our opponent for 2. They're still at 23. Let's go Shivan Reef. Let's play out Bombardment now. And we've still got this Lightning Strike, which has at least 2 targets at the moment. Ooh, Orabrask's Forge. Interesting win con in like a red-white control deck. You just kind of plop it down and it acts like a planeswalker, just getting a little bit bigger every turn, threatening to finish your opponent off. Let's go Lightning Strike, though, at our opponent. Go for the Throat. Not too good here. Actually, let's use the mana from the Celestus. So if we're willing to give this up, we can actually Brotherhood's End and destroy all artifacts 3 cost or less. Ooh, we pick up Siphon. Oh no, an opponent scoops it up. Good game.